I'm joined today by LA-based talk show host Joe Messina. Joe, you've never been on the show before, and it's great to have you on. Always good to talk to new people. You know, I wanted to start off this interview by kind of summarizing this op-ed that your publicist sent to me, but I don't think I can do it justice because I don't know that I fully understand it, to be completely honest with you. I know that it was related to when you said something about Christians and then atheists on Twitter went crazy. So can you kind of sum up this op-ed so we can talk about it?
Well, which one would it be? Because I do a couple a week, and I don't know exactly which one.
Yeah, this is the one where you talk about how you do these Faith Fridays on your radio show, and you talk to people and about various faiths, and that when you talk about a Christian being persecuted, Twitter lights up, atheists call in, and they're upset about something.
Yeah, I get what I do every week. Like you said, I have a Faith Friday section, which is I keep politics out of it, and I strictly deal with faith.
Okay.
And all kinds of faith. I've had imams and pastors, rabbis, Buddhists, spiritualists. So, because I'm a firm believer that even though I'm rooted in my belief system, a lot of us try to talk about religion as we do with politics, but we don't really know what the other person believes. We hear bits and pieces, in this 140 character world where we try to get our information. It's not very deep. It doesn't give you a whole bunch anyway.
And what is the belief system you're rooted in, just so everybody knows?
I am a non-denominational Christian.
Okay.
And so what happens is every time I talk about Christians being persecuted, not just Christians, religious people being persecuted, but Christians especially, the atheists get a little irritated with me.
Okay.
And if I poke at the atheists, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but in my estimation, in my humble opinion, atheism is a religion or a belief system, if you would, because you have a belief that nothing exists, or most do. I'm not going to paint them all because some will say to me, I'm not so sure there's a God. I don't really believe
I mean, I think that I think this may be a separate argument, right? Atheism being a religion or not is something that I've talked about a lot on my program. It doesn't meet any of the real criteria of following dogmatic sacred beliefs. It is a system of beliefs that prides itself on evidence over faith, but I don't think that makes it a religion, but that's a separate argument, I think.
Sure, okay, I'll give you that. So what happened is, especially one day in particular, as I was talking about some of the problems that we've had where they want to put up religious things at Christmas time or other holidays during the year. We had a school that was lending itself out and had a cross put up there for the Easter celebration, and they went crazy. I got 44 calls in an hour.
Yeah,
most of them from atheists who were very upset that I would A, say it was a religion, that I would B, say that Christians were the only ones being persecuted. And my comment at that point in time was, well, wait a minute. When are you persecuted like Christians are on certain holidays, holy days, or whatever days you celebrate or don't celebrate?
Right.
And it does, drives them nuts. And I don't know why. I still say today, and I know it's kind of cliche-ish to say, why does something you don't believe in bother you so much? It doesn't bother me that you don't believe.
I don't know that that's a good barometer because I interview extreme right-wing Christian guests all the time. And the mere mention from me that some of their beliefs may be completely unfounded beyond what is in the Bible, they get very offended with me. So I could make the same argument, right? If they are so secure in their beliefs, why do they fly off the handle when I question that? So I don't know that simply being upset at your beliefs being questioned is a sign that they are or aren't valid.
But I agree with you.
Okay.
All right. Makes for bad radio. But hey, look, I am secure in my belief system, right? You can't do anything that's going to make me crazy.
So what you're saying is there's no evidence you could be presented with that would make you change your beliefs.
Nope.
So that means that your beliefs are completely disconnected from reality, right? You're taking the Ken Ham point of view that he did in the Bill Nye debate, where Bill Nye was asked, what might change your beliefs? And Bill Nye said evidence. And Ken Ham was asked, what would change? But hold on a second, hold on.
Go ahead.
Ken Ham was asked, what would change your beliefs? And Ken Ham said, nothing. How is that a rational worldview if nothing would ever change it?
You when you say nothing will change, let's put it this way. Everybody has a belief system.
Okay.
Okay. Again, like you said, not religious, but everybody has a belief system.
Definitely.
I don't know you that well, but do you believe in evolution?
I do believe in evolution.
Okay. And I could say the same thing to you. You can't prove it. And even evolutionists say they can't prove it. And when you take it to the simplest level, because not you, but the generic you like to pound on Christians like me to say, you guys don't believe in science and you don't give any credence to science. Yes, we do. We don't believe science came along in and of itself. We believe that God put those things in order, and we just call it science today.
The problem with that, though, Joe. Yeah, go ahead. All right, Joe.
I want to know where, if this Big Bang theory that everybody talks about, I want to know, where did the gases come from? If we had absolutely nothing, and all of a sudden two things came out of nothing and then got together, had an explosion, and sent this whole thing into this beautiful universe that we have, you're telling me that takes no faith to believe?
Here's the thing, though, Joe. Here's the thing. I want to get back to this issue of the Christian oppression for a second, but just to address this for a second, when you have holes in science is a cumulative process that builds on the work of the previous scientists. The fact that not every question that can be imagined has a scientific answer today is not evidence of God or that sacred texts are accurate. And this is the problem, that there's been this pseudo-anti-intellectualism that is connected to literal religious beliefs in this country that opens the door to saying your lack of 100% certitude on an answer to my questions is evidence that my God exists exactly as I say my God exists. And that's just bogus.
No, my comment would be that the fact that there is more than just one or two holes is proof that you don't have it all together in the scientific world. And for you to say that, we can't explain where the gases come from, but we know it's real. And we can't explain an evolution where the transitional fossils might be that you can't find, but we know that's real. Okay, and then you have this time period, I can't remember what it's called, but you have a time period in evolution where all of a sudden, all these species pop up out of nowhere. Well, there's no evolution there. So to say that you've got proof and we have to teach this as reality, it holds the same water as me saying, I'm going to teach God as reality.
No, it's completely different. And, you and I aren't going to agree on this, and no. I know that. But so what I want to get back to is this. The problem I think some atheists have with what you talked about earlier, which is talking about Christian oppression and Christians being discriminated against, is this. Do you think that discriminating against someone for being black, hypothetical, is exactly the same as someone whose religion tells them that black people are inferior to white people is discriminated against if it's not legal to have a sign on your door saying we don't serve black people? In other words, is anything under the guise of a religious belief valid and completely immune from criticism, or would you call it discrimination no matter what?
Okay, if you want to get to the black and white thing, black person can't change their skin color any more than
a gay person can change their sexual orientation.
That's a discussion for a different day.
Okay? Again, that's not though, because there's no science at all that suggests anyone chooses to be gay.
If we're talking about whether God exists or not, that's not the conversation today when we're talking about Christians being persecuted, but the gay issue is a conversation we can have today, right? So anyway, let's get back to a black person cannot change their skin color, all right? And as far as persecution goes toward blacks, I know what you're getting at, because I know other talk show hosts that have had me on and said the same thing. Look, unless you're a studier of the Bible, it's easy to throw out little catchphrases and things that Christians have said over the years. If you really think that I'm going to sit here and tell you that everything that comes out of a Christian's mouth is true and real and all of that, it's not.
You would be crazy to say that. I'm glad you're not saying that.
Right. All right. So we got Christians that blow up abortion clinics in the name of God. I don't know what God they're talking about. It's not my God. My God doesn't tell me to do that. Okay.
Good.
I got Christians out shooting abortion doctors in the name of God. My God doesn't tell me to do that. Okay. So we've got nut jobs, we'll say, in every realm. Okay. Could we agree on that?
We could agree on that. In the U.S., we see that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So as far as I think the original question was, you're talking about refusing to service to people and that kind of stuff. I think you can look at. We're in a country that gives you the freedom to serve or not serve, to do or not do. So if you come into my restaurant and I don't want to serve you, even though it's legal, I don't want to serve you because you come in with the. I don't know, let's get ridiculous for a minute, all right? It looks like you haven't washed your hair in 25 years or something like that. Yep. I don't want you in my restaurant. I don't have a right to do that.
Well, there are certain protected classes of people, right? So there are certain reasons, and so the same way we have employment non-discrimination. So we could certainly pick ones that are protected and that aren't protected. But I think, I don't want to misstate your position, Joe. What you're getting at is, if it's based on a characteristic that someone has chosen rather than something they were born with, you're okay with discriminating in that sense.
If it's based on something someone has chosen.
You've said if you're born black, so that one you think is not an okay one. But if it's something someone has chosen.
What if you're born with you've got one arm shorter than the other? You know, some people get all wigged out about physical things that people are born and not born with. You know what? You can't change that. There's nothing you can do about that. And everybody deserves a right, you know, the handicapped
ADA.
Yeah, right. The ADA. That's great. That's fine. I'm all for that. Everybody should have the opportunity to be able to go to restaurants and go to stores and be able to move around.
I agree with you, but what about the characteristics that are changeable? It sounds like you're more okay with saying, I don't want to serve someone who falls under that umbrella.
Yeah, I should have a right not to serve. Yeah, if somebody comes in the store with a shirt that says, you know, blank you and the horse you rode in on.
Right.
You know what? You're not
so
allowed
then
to
the
serve
obvious question, Joe, becomes, what is more arbitrary, self-professed, optional, and not something you're born with than religion?
Oh, well, religion obviously is a choice you make, right? So if you walk in the door and I'm in your restaurant and I decide to bow my head and pray over my food, and a guy walks up and says, we'll have no praying in here. Mm-hmm. The difference between me and some other people's, I'm not going to go sue him. I'm going to leave the food on the table. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to let my Christian friends in that area know this guy doesn't allow prayer in his restaurant.
That's you personally, though, right? But religion is a protected class in this country.
It is not a protected class. If it was a protected class, you wouldn't see all the lawsuits and other things going on in this country. Like,
but those are for imposing religious beliefs on others. It's back. See, this is exactly where we get into it. Intolerance of discrimination is not discrimination, and I think that's the crux of it, Joe.
Intolerance of discrimination
is not discrimination.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, look, when you sit there and you tell me, I was listening to one of your shows where you were talking. I can't remember was it the Arkansas Supreme Court justice?
Could be Alabama, I think.
I'm sorry, Alabama. It wouldn't take the 10 Commandments off I think it was the front lawn. It wasn't even inside.
Yeah.
But a bunch of hypocrites at the Supreme Court who also had the 10 Commandments up on the wall. So he can't have them on the front lawn, but the Supreme Court can have them on the wall. That's okay.
All right. Well, listen, that's another story. That's another story. It's been a real pleasure having you on, Joe. We did go 3 minutes over because it is such an interesting conversation. Hey, it's not your fault. I'm running the show here. I would love to have you back anytime, even if we don't agree. We've been talking to Joe Messina, LA-based talk show host. Check out his show. He has a politically incorrect area going on in his studio, so I'm sure our audience will love it. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.